Hi everyone, welcome to this last video in this winter Christmas wreath series. Now we have our poinsettia flowers left and then we're going to decorate with a bit of snow to finish off. I'm going to start with the very centres of the poinsettias and I'm just going to put a little dot of my darkest red, which is the middle cadmium red, and in each of the little circles that are in the centre just a small dot. I'm going to actually sharpen that pencil. Now this might seem a little odd, but bear with me. A little dot there, a little dot there, and there, and the same in each of them. I'm hoping you can see because I realise I'm quite far out. There we go. This one can be a little bit bigger because it's a slightly bigger circle. Like that. Now what I do for the very centre of my poinsettias is a yellow, and I'm going to do that now, and I want to burnish it well into the page because when I go close to it with the red petals they could overlap. So this is 107, which is the cadmium yellow, and I'm going to use that on the centre of each of these. I'm going to just colour right over the top of that red and layer it up so that it's burnished. And hopefully that will stay yellow and not go orange. Okay, now we're going to go for our lightest yellow. Just sharpening it so you may be able to hear. This is the scarlet red. Okay, and I'm going to do all the flowers now with this, all the petals. I'm going to go right over the flower. I'm not worrying about petal to petal. Separating out those petals or anything. This is just my initial layer of colour just to get a base, like my undercoat. Some people do this, interestingly, they always make a base coat of alcohol marker and then pencil on top. It's a really interesting idea. It means that you can quickly get a layer of quite intense colour with very little effort, but the problem is that alcohol markers go through the page, so you would lose whatever's on the back of your picture. So they're great for single-sided books, but not for double. And I think you can, on a small picture like this, it doesn't take too much longer with pencil, I don't think. Maybe I'm just a bit quicker. I find that with pen I'm slow because I'm worried about it smudging, and yeah, like now, see, my hand would be in it and that wouldn't be any good. And I also worry more about staying in the lines, which is a bit silly because I don't tend to erase when I go out of the lines anyway. With a pen there's absolutely no way you could erase anything, obviously, which worries me a bit. I don't want to be worrying while I'm colouring, so pencil for me is more relaxing. Of course I do use bits and pieces of pens here and there, and sometimes I use pens on mandalas, things like that. Right, there's my basic layer. It's not particularly neat, it doesn't need to be. I'm going to go back to my darkest colour now, which is the middle cadmium red, and we're going to do the very centres of our petals and then just fade out a little bit. Don't have a lot of space on these really small ones. Just take your time. If I'm going too fast, just pause the video or catch up a bit later. You could always do a bit with me and then watch it again and do a bit more, if that appeals to you anyway. As you can see, we're getting like a little layer on that edge of each petal. I'm trying to work out which date it is today. I'm wondering if it's Christmas Eve that this is going to go out. look at my calendar. Sunday. No. Yes. I can't work it out. Sunday. Yes, it is, isn't it? Christmas Eve. Oh my goodness, everyone's going to be so busy. On Christmas Eve, I used to do things like make mince pies, but I don't do that now. Buy them. But I will be making. I will prep. I usually prep the potatoes, get them peeled and in the saucepan ready for boiling, and prep the other vegetables as well, and just get them in the saucepan sitting there ready for boiling later the next day. And also I'll be making my my main course, and I need to make a double portion because I'm going to take some with me the day after too. That's okay. And I might start making gravy as well, and I like doing that. It's fun. I like cooking. Sometimes my son helps me. It depends. Depends whether they've got work on or not, or whether they finished. And I can put some carols on to listen to. It's nice. Singing and peeling and chopping. It's always good fun. And then as you start to cook a few things, you get all the nice cooking smells, and it's good fun. We have to usually have something a bit lighter to eat on Christmas Eve. Not sure what though. Haven't thought that far yet. It's quite far away in terms of meal planning. We have planned what we're having on Christmas Day. My one son likes turkey, but you can't get a small enough, like a one-person portion. So I think he's going to have chicken, but I need to talk to him, because if he really wants turkey, we might be able to find him a smaller one that he can have. This would be unfair for him not to have what he wants. I'll have a chat with him. And then there's all the usual bits and pieces. I remember one year my husband cooked venison. I think his father was coming. I can't remember. And this is before we had children. This is deep red. So I'm just extending that area a little bit, leaving the tip still a bit paler. And then we'll finish the tip with the first colour we used. My memory's gone. Can't remember what it was. Can you remember what it was? Might be able to. It's right beside me. I could look. The scarlet red. Dear. It's because I'm thinking of food. It's distracting. I think as you get older, food is quite a big part of Christmas, because you don't get quite so excited about the presents. You know, it's because you can buy everything you want once you start working, so you don't. You know, presents aren't so much. So I just remember we were supposed to pay some checks into the post office today. I completely forgot. Oh well. Yeah, we had some checks in the post as a present, which was very, very generous. I was going to pay everyone's in. Never mind. That'll wait. This wasn't urgent. Hopefully you can see these are looking slightly more three-dimensional, as if the darker red is sort of shadowy. Lots of poinsettias in the shop. I was tempted, but not. I like them, but I can't keep them alive very long. It was a bit early for me to get one yet. Last one I had, it lost a leaf a day, so yeah, wouldn't be able to keep it too long. Anyways, I had other things that I was concentrating on, which is getting the presents done. And next time we're shopping, we'll be doing our big Christmas food shop, and apparently, according to the Waitrose, which is our local supermarket, the 23rd is the busiest shopping day of the year for food, and that's when we're doing our shop because it's the Saturday before Christmas. So, and Saturdays are always busy as well. It's going to be absolutely manic. They've also changed the design of the store, so there's less tills and more self-serve counters, and people are probably not going to be wanting to do self-service with a huge trolley of shopping. Right, our last bit is the scarlet red. We're just going to go back over those tips. Try and keep it light so that you can see that it's lighter, but you've got a bit more intensity of colour. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit mad, but I think husband wants to get there for when they open. Now normally on the 23rd and 24th they have a queue outside for when they open the door because it gets so busy. Everyone just wants to get there early. Some people want to get there early before it gets too busy. So that might be us. But that's okay. It's quite a nice supermarket because the shelves aren't too tall and they're quite far spread apart, so you don't feel trapped in, and people tend to move around fairly patiently because our local area has quite a lot of older people. They're not rushing around and bashing past you and things like that. They tend to just be going at their own gentle pace, which is nice. And because the shop doesn't play music or anything like that, I think that helps. I think sometimes if there's music playing with a fast beat, it sort of makes people feel a bit on edge and moving around more quickly, and that's not good, I don't think. I think we're getting to the end of this bit before we get to do the fun snow part. Let me have a look. A bit on here. Okay, let's come out. We need to see the whole page. Now what you want is a white pen. This is a jelly roll, but you can use a Posca, whatever you want really. And we want to start just putting some snow. Now I need to move from top to bottom or left to right so I don't smudge it. I tend to work sort of diagonally across when I'm doing this sort of thing, and I'm just going to start putting a bit on. I'm thinking it's going to be coming from the top, so it will sort of catch the tops of things like that. Just little dots, dot, dot, dot. Might not show up on everything. Not going to show up very well on these berries, but if you put some on the black, they would a little bit. Just work round. You don't have to do this bit if you don't want to. I think it just gives it more of a wintry, Christmassy feel. And it's not loads. You could put loads, but then you're going to cover over all your colouring. It's nice just to do a little bit. Now with adding snow to a picture, the darker or more intense your colour, the more it's going to show up. If you've got pale things, either because you haven't put enough layers of colour or because it's just a pale colour that you're using, it's not going to show up so much. I'm going to put a tiny shine on these berries, just a dot. This pen nib's a bit fat for that, but never mind. I need to go back over the other side. I might do this side completely actually. Another way of doing this sort of thing, if you want to do frost, you could do it around the edges of the leaves. Rather than dotting snow on. And you could go do it with a silver pen rather than a white if you want, to make it look like it's sparkly frost. It's another idea. I've done that before. I just fancied doing snow today. I've seen someone do this with snow and I liked it. I think that's what it was. So thank you, person. I stole your idea. Now you can do lots of snow, a little bit of snow, you know, as I say, you're covering up your own colouring, so you need to decide whether you want to do that or not, or whether you'd rather just do a light bit, a sort of nod rather than a blizzard, just a sprinkle. There, I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't even know how much you can see that. Excuse me. But there it is, all finished. So that was fun. Thank you for joining me for this series. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, it's Christmas Eve, I think. So I think I've got that right. So Merry Christmas. Have a lovely day tomorrow. There will be a video tomorrow. I don't know what, but probably only one. It'll probably only be one video now for the rest of the month. Just because there's a lot going on, and yeah, I need some time to spend with family, and I've got behind because of not being well. So yeah, I'll just be one till the end of the month, and then hopefully in January I'll have a bit more time to do a few more, but we'll see. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Hoping you have a super day and a super Christmas. Thank you and happy colouring.